For the 1500 subscriber giveaway contest, I'll be giving away this, The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 1, CGC in a 9.8, another great series from JT4. All you have to do is be subscribed to my channel, like and comment in any of my videos for a chance to win. Good luck, everyone. Welcome back to Basement Collectibles, and if you're new here, my name is Jordan, and if you like unboxings, comic book spec, toys, movies, and arcades, please consider subscribing for more great content. So before I get into my top 10, I just had one honorable mention, and that is, let's call this number 11, The Toxic Avenger, issue number 1 in a 9.6. I bought this for under $10. I was really hoping for a 9.8. It was in great condition. I bought this before the news that there's going to be a reboot of The Toxic Avenger, and Peter Dinklage is going to be in the movie as well. But his first appearance, I always like to have the first appearance of the person on the cover, so it was a win-win for that. And I really like the back of this as well, with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game with the ooze falling down, and then you have it turn into the NES game. I remember grabbing this game as soon as it came out for Nintendo, and just every weekend having friends over, and we just kept on playing it until we beat it, and then we just kept on beating it again. So it's really nice to have a little bit of a nostalgia with the Toxic Avenger, growing up and watching this movie when I was really young, and then of course having the NES game advertisement on the back. So starting off with number 10, from Image, Geiger, issue number 1 in a 9.8, but it's such a great story, especially for this first 6 issues of this. I'm looking forward to more from Geiger, but I bought this book for cover price, and right now you can buy this book for around $60, and I think this book has huge potential, just like Noctera, so I'm really hoping for great things for Geiger. And speaking of Noctera, for number 9, from Image, Noctera issue number 1. This is the glow-in-the-dark version. Such a great cover. Nice to have it glow-in-the-dark as well. Of course, I've been speccing on this on many videos, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing it. But I'm really looking forward to it to come out for Netflix. So I'm always going to have at least a Noctera book in my collection. But yeah, in a 9.8, and if you haven't had a chance to read this, I highly recommend. And of course, if you find this for cover price, definitely pick it up. And right now, it's going for just over $100. At number 8, from DC's Black Label, The Nice House on the Lake, issue number 1 in a 9.8. Another great series by JT4. Another highly recommended book on this channel if you can still get it for a decent price. I was able to buy this for cover price, and right now they're going around for about $130, so not too bad. I have high hopes for this book as well. I'm really hoping there's some news maybe in 2022 with a possible TV show or something. But either way, it's a great series to have and to read. And at number 7, from Aftershock, We Live, issue number 1 in a 9.8. Such a great series. It's only 5 books right now, but they are coming out with the newest series soon, I believe in the spring. So We Live, issue number 1 in a 9.8. I bought this already CGC'd for $130, and right now you can pick this up for about $170. I have another copy, maybe even 2 copies at CGC right now that I'm hoping to get back in a 9.8, and I'll use those obviously to flip, get some money back in my pocket to pay off this book, and obviously to buy some more We Live issues. I also have number 5 that I'm speccing on too. I don't want to spoil that, but there's a reason for it. And yeah, if you haven't had a chance, I highly recommend, even if it's digital, to read We Live. At number 6 from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 51 in a 9.6. This is the first full appearance of Jennika before she's a turtle. Spoiler alert if you didn't know. But having that 5th turtle as Jennika, I have 2 daughters. I love Ninja Turtles. They love Ninja Turtles. So it was really exciting to have a female Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I really hope eventually Jenna comes out either in a TV show or a movie one day. I know they're rebooting, I believe, the Turtles in the near future. So really great book. I was really hoping this was going to be in a 9.8, but these were the days where I didn't get a quick press on these books. There's no defects that I can see on this book, so maybe if I had have done just a quick press on this, they would agreed it was a 9.8, but I have no plans to crack this open right now unless something crazy happens with a 9.8. I bought this book for $125, so it was $125 raw. And right now you can get this for in a 9.6 for about $250. And at number 5, and you guys have seen this recently, from DC, Lobo's Christmas Special, issue number 1 in a 9.6. I was able to buy this for cover price. I still have my actual personal copy when I was growing up, but it's pretty beat up, so I didn't want to send that in. But I got the 9.6, hoping for the 9.8, but there's a little bit of cover rub on the back of the book. There's really no data on this for a 9.6, so let's call it $60 if I ever really wanted to sell it, which I'm not planning on doing. But I can still remember going to the comic book shop, picking this up off the rack, and the owner selling this to me and getting home and just can't believe what they did to poor Santa Claus and his elves. But I'm a huge fan of Lobo, and this brings back lots of nostalgia, especially with all, like I said, with the gore and all that. And is this the first time and only time that Santa Claus has died in a comic book? At number 4, from Marvel Icon, Kick-Ass issue number 1 in a 9.8, and I bought this already CGC'd for $125, and it's currently selling for $160. Really enjoyed this book, over the top gore in a comic book. And also I remember growing up as a kid, I always thought too, why hasn't anybody ever tried to be a hero or a superhero for that matter? And if you watch this, you would never really want to attempt that, but really great story. And recently I heard that Mark Miller or somebody mentioned that there could be a possible reboot. He could just be joking, but he said they're working on something in the future. But anything Kick-Ass, I'll watch, so I'm really hoping for more news on that. And at number 3, from Image, Spawn issue number 1 in a 9.8. I have a couple copies of number 1, but they're now readers' copies. Growing up, I used to read this, open the pages up, and try to draw all Todd McFarlane's images. So I ended up buying this for $175, and currently it's going for about $225. I'm really hoping for more news for Spawn. I hope they come out with an even better movie than unfortunately what they already have now. Really enjoyed the HBO cartoon. If you haven't had a chance to go back and watch the early 90s HBO cartoon of this, it was fantastic. But I still remember going to my LCS, and this book had already come out and they already had it on the wall. And I remember they had it on the wall for $20, and everything else was $10 and $15, and especially issue number 4. I think it was around $30. So I finally was able to pick up a couple copies when they calmed down for about $10. But I remember this being such a big deal, and you couldn't beat the artwork from Todd McFarlane. At number 2, from DC, Superman issue number 75 in a 9.6, but this is a newsstand. I bought this for around $5, and right now it seems to be selling for around $95. Was really hoping to get this in a 9.8, but this is the first time I've ever owned a first print. All my personal collection growing up, I had the second and the third print of this, and I still remember going to my buddy's house, and his dad picked this up, probably a newsstand too, because he was taking the subway home, and he gave it to his son, and he was telling me that, look, he died. I couldn't believe it. Read his book, ran to the LCS to buy mine, but at the time, I guess they already had the second print out. But from there, I had to read Funeral for a Friend, and then get into the reboot of everybody with the 4 other Supermans. So I have a short box full of Superman issues just because of this. So this was pretty big, and this was something besides I was reading Batman at the time. This was really the first time I got into Superman. But really happy to have this, and I think I'll be looking for now the first appearance of Doomsday, just so I can put this side by side. And at number 1, and you just saw this book recently on a video that I made about modern Spec paying off to buy this book, the Omega Men issue number 3 in a 9.8, and of course this is the first appearance of Lobo, and I bought this book for $325, and right now it looks like you can buy this book for $350. But this is one of my favorite characters from DC, and just like the Xmas special, I couldn't believe I could buy all those Lobo's backs, all those 4-part miniseries that always suggested for mature readers with the over-the-top gore in that. But really happy to have this in my collection, and again, something that's not worth a lot of money, even though it seems to be going up. But I really hope that this has a bright future and Lobo makes it onto the big screen one day. And if they just do something similar to Deadpool, I think fans will really enjoy it, and I really hope that DC and Warner Brothers doesn't screw it up. So what'd you think of my top 10 list? Please let me know if you have any of these books in your collection, or what books do you have in your collection that, you know, they're not that pricey, but it's something that you remember from your childhood. I know every decade is different. I started collecting books in the late 80s, more into the early 90s. So for me, spawns in that are a big deal. But please let me know what you thought and what was your favorite. So that's it for this video, and I really appreciate you watching till the end. But if you are new here, if you can possibly like, comment, and subscribe on your way out, and definitely check some of my other videos if you like unboxings, spec videos, and of course others like toys, arcades, and movies. And I'll see everybody on the next one. Take care.